wait for a while. The Secretariat of the Synod, no, of the bishops, has invited all the ecclesial movements and also associations to really take part in this synodal process, no? 3 year, from starting this year until 2023. So, next. So for this, it was really a great joy for Margaret, na? For Margaret, and of course for Jesus and for the whole center, because we believe that we have also something to contribute, no, to this. And so I would like only to say, also to share with you what Monsignor Piero Coda, our very own, said. No, I think that this is the most important, no, event, ecclesial event, since the Second Vatican Council. And the council made us rediscover the church as it is. Unity in the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, communion and mission. So making a synod on synodality does not mean doing it on a theme like so many others, but on the deeper identity of the church as a communion and mission that becomes concrete, historically incisive when it is participated by all. All. So I really like to underline all, every one of us. Next. So at the request, as I have mentioned already, so this is a great joy. I think it's not only for Margaret or at the center. I think it is a joy that we share, because we belong, as Andrew was saying, we belong to different parishes. So it is really for us to take the first step, not to wait, no, but to be there, to be part of this synodality starting in the parish, which has been launched already and is ongoing. Next. So briefly, only to mention the 3 phases. So from October 21 until April 22, the first year will be focused on listening to the entire people of God in all its components, no? As mentioned earlier, laity, religious, and clergy. Then from September 2022 to March 2023, the second year will involve now the continents. The third phase, October 2023, during the third, is the expression of universal communion, and this is the 16th Ordinary General Assembly of the Synod, which will be celebrated in Rome with all the bishops together with the Pope. So this one also is very nice, no? And I really feel that this is also very important. Who is our model in trying to live this synodality? And we look at God. And as Pope Francis said, the synod will not take place, no, synodality, without the Holy Spirit. So the style, we are called to follow the style of God. God who journeys in history and shares the events of humanity. Making synod means journeying on the same road, journeying together, and being open to the adventure of the journey. And Pope Francis was saying, we cannot be aloof of the sufferings of the humanity. We cannot be indifferent. Next. So, the synodal process really engaged us in 3, no? Directly, first, in direct participation in the synodal process in the local churches, as I've mentioned. Then, the synodal process within the movement. So also us, we need to do it. And, of course, in a contribution as a movement to be sent to the General Secretariat of the Synod. So again, all of us are encouraged to participate actively in the synodal process, not only within our movement, but in the parishes where we belong. Next. So I think, I don't know if you have received it, no? The center prepared a handbook or a booklet where we can read, no, everything. And this will help us to live the pre-synodal journey within, no, the movement. So as you know, Margaret made, no, an international team. They call it the synodal team, which is composed of 8 persons. No, so the one who is representing us is Vanya Cheng, who is from Hong Kong. Then there is one from Argentina. What's his name? Pablo Blanco. We have Lily Mugumbutse de Cameroon. We have Loli Garcia from Spain. We have Vincenzo Di Pelato, Eva Guglio, and Claudio Guerrieri for representing Italy. And of course, Francisco Canzani representing the center of the opera. Okay, so this, we are called to read, not only to read, but to reflect. No, this will help us also when we meet together. No, so this is really not only for the Pope and Poppy, but for everyone who belongs to the Focolare movement. Next. So what are we going to do then concretely? So they are encouraging us at least to do, no, 2 meetings of each Focolare, Nucleus, Gen Unit, a local community, no? And we dedicate this one for reflection, no? To think together how we can do this, no? So reflect on the theme of the synod, and then the second one to answer together the guide questions provided in the handbook. Okay, next. So I would like to underline what Andrew was saying. Listening is very important. And I remember this one, no? I like so much this character, Chinese character, which means really, no? We have the ear, we have the eyes, everything in us, and the heart to listen. Because we need to listen with our eyes, with our heart, with our ears. And this is very important. But how do we listen? With an open heart, mind and heart without prejudice. And maybe we can ask ourselves, what are some limitations in our ability to listen? No? Especially to those who have different opinions or views from us. So we are also encouraged to speak with courage, with frankness, with sincerity, with freedom, but always done in truth and, above all, with love, with charity. Next. So, in the preparatory document in the vademecum prepared with the synod, no, of the bishops, with this group, the secretariat, there are 5 central topics that they prepared on which we can also discuss. So briefly, I want only to say, no, so it's about path and mission. So these are also some questions that we can talk and reflect, no, together. So about community, who do we think are our fellow travelers, no? Or in our people or groups, do we feel that we are working or journeying together? Do we exclude in our projects and in our sharing of experiences? Next. So how can we foster choices and decisions supported by the community? So all this, I think there's no need to read everything because this is written in the booklet. So I would like to encourage you to really to read. Okay, next. Next. So about the word and the Eucharist. Okay, next. About listening and dialogue. Next. Community discernment. Okay. Then the specific contribution as a community of the Focolare movement. Later on, we will give you 2 guide questions. Next. Okay? So, a free contribution. So each one is encouraged, no? You can write your reflection, you can also share a short experience, and they give us a limit, no? And of course, everything will be gathered, will be summarized, and it will be sent to the center. So this one is an invitation to all to really live the pre-synodal journey together with joy and commitment in the awareness of this important time for the church and humanity. So for us, so next. Okay. So we'd like to end this one. This is in our final document, The Dream of Kiara. I dream of a church. What's this? By the world as being more beautiful. I dream of seeing in her a holiness of the people. I dream that wars, conflicts, hunger, and thousands other evils in the world will diminish. I dream of more living and active dialogue among people of the most varied religions linked to one another by love. I dream of gospel based on relationship, not only among peoples, but also among groups, among states, so that it becomes logical to love other people's countries as our own. So we need to commit ourselves to seek out those who suffer, those who are excluded, starting with the people we ourselves had made suffer or have excluded, to be in dialogue with everyone, to approach each person to listen to them in depth, to promote a culture of prevention and a promotion of each person's well-being with appropriate training and transparent communication, and to see the signs of God's presence in the events we are experiencing as humanity. So, this afternoon, there will be a moment of deepening. We call it per Focolare. So we would like, with Andrew, and of course with the commission, we are proposing these two questions of whom we can reflect together. One question would refer to this missionary church, of this going out. How do we welcome the contribution of people who do not think like us inside and outside the community, recognizing differences of opinion, conflicts, and difficulties as opportunities for dialogue, discernment, and change? And the second one, how about our decision-making processes? Is it the fruit of a life of communion, fellowship based on sincerity, collaboration, and attention to the inclusion of all in a true family spirit? So I hope you will have the questions so that when we go to our Focolare, it would really be a moment of sharing, based on this, with the in the spirit of family. We can also express what we have in our heart, with this sincerity, but with much charity. Thank you very much.